You all know that Hamsa Chakra gives you discretion. But still we do not understand what do we mean by discretion. The first and the foremost important center within us is the Muladhara Chakra. If we do not have the proper discretion about Muladhara Chakra, we get into wilderness, I should say, or we open the doors of hell for ourselves. So one thing one has to know that Muladhara Chakra cannot be controlled by our mental activity. But if you shift it to the mental activity, then the control over Muladhara is completely lost. Apart from whatever has happened in the West, Muladhara Chakra is all gone into the mental activity of human beings. It is so much discussed, talked, it is so much described, written down, so much read, so much put into our heads that it has become a mental activity. So Muladhara doesn't act spontaneously as it has to act. That's why there are problems that people cannot produce children. So many become impotent very early because it is used not by the power of desire but by mental activity. Shift. Now you see the light here. It's burning there because there is oil and there is a wick. It is burning. But instead of this oil, you put just water. Will it burn? It won't. Because water is not going to nourish this light. So the more mental activity you have, your Muladhara gets spoiled. And it becomes uncontrollable. But if it is left to your desire, so it becomes spontaneous. Same about the Swadhisthana Chakra. Swadhisthana is for creativity. Anything you can create. You can create a sari, you can create a beautiful design, pattern, you can create a beautiful art or anything. But as soon as you put it on a mental level, it's finished. Also in the West, too much discussion is about the art. This is not art, that is not art, this should have been like this, that should have been like this. I mean, its creativity is spontaneous. Whatever the artist wants to produce, let him produce. Who are you to judge and criticize? You cannot appreciate anything unless it is brought to the mental level. So now we have critics. And the artists are not spontaneous, they are afraid, they only think, what will the critics say? Even when I am writing the book, when I give it to some Sahajogis to read, they say, Mother, if you write like this, then they'll say like this. I said, let them say, who cares? Now this Greek tragedy of romanticism, then the romance of Romeo and Juliet, all is imaginary, is all mental. There's no spontaneity in it. And then you are accept only relationships when there is artificiality, even between husband and wife. Like the husband must bring a flower every day to the wife, show her a flower, as if she's a priest or something. And the wife must, I don't know what they do, all artificialities. And then he must say thank you 10 times to her. And she must say sorry to him 100 times. I mean, they are husband and wife, left and right side of a chariot. And then the men expect this should happen. Women expect this should happen. Men expect the women should be like men, and women expect men should be like women. Men are very particular about time, women are not. So women must be very particular about time, otherwise they think she's the worst person they have ever known. The woman is, say, more particular about her kitchen or maybe about her dress. So the man would get angry with her because she takes too much time to get ready. It's mutually so indiscreet that the relationship becomes absolutely absurd. There should be understanding that she is the left side and you are the right side, and both of you have to act according to your nature. On the contrary, you want to make somebody look so funny, because imagine a man becoming a woman and a woman becoming a man. You see, it's a joke, but that's what is happening. Whatever the men are supposed to do, they cannot do. Whatever women are supposed to do, they cannot do. But the most indiscreet thing about Navi is that you don't listen to your guru. 100 times you tell something to Sahajogis, but still they will not listen to me. Still they will do as the fashion tells them or the norms that they have. Listening to your guru, as they say, as if is to obey the God Almighty. Whatever he said is to be accepted as a great blessing, as a great correction, and is to be followed, not to be just left out as it is. As you know, your mother is your guru and she is your mother. Also, she is Mahamaya. Also, she is Adishakti. And she is so gentle. And she is so kind. She says some things to you to correct you. So many lectures I have given of telling you what is important. But you should open your heart and surrender it fully to your Guru, then only you will mature, otherwise there's no way out. I'm sorry to say. So there has to be the self-disciplination, as you can so call it, on the Hansa chakra, which is the one which knows what is right, what is wrong, through which we work it out. Whatever is the right, that's all we do. Otherwise we don't do whatever is wrong. So the discretion is lost completely in relationships. Whether it is sex, whether it is creativity, whether it is family, anything. That's the part of the Hamsa chakra. So if you have to enter into the limbic area, which is the Virata's place, which is the, I would say, from Vishuddhi to Hamsa and then to your limbic area into the Virata, then your interest must expand. So the other discretion should be that am I only thinking of my child? Am I only thinking of uh, my wife? Am I only thinking about them? Or I am worried about other children also. I am thinking about other children. I just tell you this because it's such a funny type of a concern we have. And you destroy your children also by this kind of indiscreet concern. Like we had a school in India, and the children who stayed in Pune. I had my puja. I told them don't bring children because I knew these children are Western children, not easy, they can't bear anything. But the children insisted and the teachers had to bring. So the puja was over as usual, very late, about I think 11 o'clock in the night. And there was no transport. And that's why I said don't bring them. So they had to get some sort of a truck because these days we were not getting petrol, we were having a very bad time. So they had to go on the truck. It reached there by about 2 o'clock. Some of the fathers were staying in my house. Next day they said, Mother, our right heart is catching. I said, what is that? Such cruelty. I said, what cruelty? The children reached at 2 o'clock in the school. So what? Right heart is catching. What attachments! Your children, if they reach at 2 o'clock, what does it matter? Why are you so much concerned about it? They are realized souls. There is God who is looking after them. Why are you so much worried about them? Leave them alone. The best among these was Sri Krishna, I would say, who had real discretion. But after all, he was Sri Krishna. But his methods were so interesting of discretion that it's enjoyable to know about how he destroyed so many Rakshasas. Every time he did not use his Sudarshan Chakra, he used his discretion. Like there was a Rakshasa who was trying to overpower the Pandavas, who was trying to overpower the people who were good. Sri Krishna said, now what to do with this horrible fellow? And this fellow had boons from Brahmadeva and from Mahadeva and everyone. So Sri Krishna is the center after all. So he wanted to organize a proper destruction of this horrible Rakshasa. So what he did, that there was a great right-sided saint meditating, and he had taken a vow that nobody should disturb me. At least the one who disturbed me for the first time, I should have power to destroy if I look at that person. And this one was meditating in a cave. Sri Krishna very beautifully ran away from the battlefield. His name is Ranchodas. It's little bit derogatory to say somebody that the one who ran out of the battlefield. So Sri Krishna ran out of the battlefield. But there was no way out to kill this horrible fellow. And he went and he was covering himself with a shawl. He went into that cave and covered that saint with his shawl. After Sri Krishna was running this horrible Rakshasa to kill him, Sri Krishna went and hid himself. When this Rakshasa came near the cave, he saw the shawl covering this saint. He said, "Oh, so now you are tired and sleeping here, running away from the field. Get up now." As soon as he said this saint got up and looked at him, and he was completely burnt. So, if Sri Krishna is the Virata at his feet, or if Sri Krishna is Vithala on his head, in between the two resides Hamsachak. The discretion is very beautifully described in the life of Sri Krishna. We can call him that he had a naughty way of using his discretion. He has done so many things like that. But they create a drama. They create his Leela. Because he was Leela, that's why he could use his discretion to create a drama or play. So on one side, we have the help of Sri Krishna to give us the discretion. And on the other side, we have Christ. In between is placed is Hamsa. So we have two great incarnations within us who are the embodiment of discretion. So one side is Sri Krishna, who is one who looks after the conditioning side of it. And the other side is Christ, who starts looking after the ego side of it. The one who says on the cross, "Oh God, forgive them because they do not know. Oh Father, forgive them for they do not know what they are doing," is the same one who takes a hunter in his hand and hits people, starts beating them because they are making money in the name of God. See the discretion. That's Jesus. Same Sri Krishna, who with his Sudarshan Chakra can kill thousands and thousands of Rakshasas, becomes the driver of Arjuna. The contrast of their behavior is the beautiful saga of their discretion.